Now, those are some ways to start working with controlling your ejaculation. Again, I'm not saying ejaculation is totally bad, but based on the amount of energy that is released with all of those cells and how much the body needs to take from the other organs and energy centers of the chakras to then pull back into creating more of those cells, I think it's very clear. And from your own experience, you know what you feel like right after ejaculation. And typically, what happens to many men is they actually feel a sense of disconnection from their partner and even from themselves, because we have this sense of loss, this sense of depletion, this even an impact at the emotional and mental level. Guys, after ejaculating, often feel depleted. They feel a sense of low energy and even a down feeling in the emotions and mind. So try this homework, guys. This is your home play. Do your self stimulation, take yourself to 80% and stop. And do that 3 or 4 times within 20 minutes and don't ejaculate. And get there for 7 days in a row where you do self stimulation without ejaculation. At the end of 7 days, so many students have come back to me and said, I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't experience it myself. Thank you for sharing these teachings. It's important that you try, because if you don't try, you'll never know. All right. It's just words, but just try this experiment and see for yourself. And if you say, I don't like it after 7 days, fine, no loss. But I can almost guarantee that you'll be amazed at how much more energy you have. And that energy is translated into your creativity, into your work, into your relationships, into your play, into your connection with the world around you. You're not feeling a sense of loss. You're feeling a sense of empowerment by moving this energy through you. So there's other ways to increase and maintain your sexual vitality. There's what I call the shower routine, where you actually massage your testicles, you massage your lingam, not in a sense of masturbation, but you're doing things in the shower that takes just anywhere about 2 to 3 minutes to keep the testosterone production up by massaging the testicles, by squeezing the testicles very gently, because this squeezes blood out and then blood comes rushing back in with fresh oxygen, fresh energy. And there's things that you can do with your lingam in the shower, like pulling on it in a certain way, rotating it in circles, rolling it between your hands. And I'll have a whole topic about men's health in a different lecture, a different course. But please understand, there's lots of ways that we can keep this vitality, especially as we age. I know the younger guys are like, I don't have a problem, no worries. But many men, even the young men, face the problem of having a difficult time getting an erection, keeping an erection, premature ejaculation, what we could call performance anxiety when we're making love to a woman, that we're stressed, and that stress impacts our ability to actually have an erection and keep it. So there are a lot of different ways that we can do that. And the first step is what I've just taught you. There are herbs that are very powerful. Tongkat Ali, and we'll give you this list when we give you the PDF. There are certain herbs. Herbs are nature's medicine that actually help us to balance our hormones, to balance the different functions of our body. And I've done a lot of experimentation and done a lot of study about which herbs impact the male virility and sexual performance. My favorite one is Tongkat Ali, also Thai black ginger, and even gotu kola, which is helping with blood circulation. So I have a protocol that I use that I've given to a lot of men over the years, and they have found it very beneficial. So I want to share that with you at the end when we give you the PDF, and in my separate course, All for Men's Health. Lifestyle, of course. The more toxins you put in your body, the more it's going to impact everything. It's up to and including your sexual performance. So getting the right amount of sleep, decreasing stress, doing the breathing, the yoga, the exercise, minimizing our contact with people and places and things that are toxic to us, not just at the physical level, but also energetic, emotional, and mental toxicity. The things that we watch on TV, the movies, the amount of time we spend on the internet or on the phone, they all impact our sexual virility, guys. And if you want to offer your woman a service of worshiping her as the goddess, you learn how to be a masterful lover. There were, in ancient India, the 64 arts that every cultured human should learn to become a very refined and holistic being. And the first and highest art of all of them, of all of those 64, is the art of lovemaking. Because you are making love. It's very simple. It's stated right there that you are coming to this experience as an opportunity to express your artistic ability of guiding each other into intimacy at a profound level and even to higher states of consciousness.
And in a way, I love the expression that you not only make love, but love makes you. Because of love, you perfect yourself and learn all this.
This is what we're talking about. And this is why we gave you all of these instructions about the foundational practices. Especially for men, it's a little bit trickier, I have to be honest, because we need to learn a skill that women don't have to learn. Women are built for tantric practices, for this conscious lovemaking in a way. Now, if men develop this skill, I can guarantee you that the woman will be grateful. And when we give to a woman, we get back more than we can ever give. Women are infinite in their power and in their energy. And so as we go deeper into lovemaking for longer periods of time with a woman, we're receiving the blessing of her energy. We are receiving possibly even the blessing of her orgasms. And this is going to heal and empower us in ways that we can't actually do alone. And each time we make love, we balance the masculine and feminine within ourselves. That's such a great gift. And we'll go again deeper into this next time. But please understand that it is so worth the time that you can invest, men, into developing this skill set.
I confirm. I am a living witness to this. And before I embarked on this journey, I lived half of my life in darkness, I would say, and not knowing what is possible. And I'm very grateful for these teachings. Yeah. And for you teaching me as well.
As I mentioned, minimize the amount of electromagnetic frequencies you're exposed to. As I sit here and stare into a computer and teach you, try to minimize the amount of time that you spend around these non-natural energetic frequencies.
Yeah, when you go for a walk, just leave your phone at home, computer far away, because EMF influences all the energy exchange.
If you're going to lay down on the couch, don't put the computer directly on your lap, gentlemen or ladies, okay? That electricity, and try not to even carry your phone in your pockets, everyone, because that magnetic frequency is not natural and it impacts every cell of our being. So learn to put the phone on speakerphone and hold it away from your head. There's a lot of studies and research about how those frequencies can impact our brains. So just be conscious about how much time you're spending on a screen and how you hold that screen close to your body. And very important, go out and walk barefoot in nature. Get as much time as you can every day. Get a dog so that you have to walk it twice a day. Literally, the more time you spend barefoot on the earth or around trees or in water, the healthier you are, the more vitality you will have. And men, our root chakra connected to the earth is what feeds our sexual vitality. So the more time you spend doing the root lock and working with your root chakra, the more vitality you have, the more grounding foods that you eat gives you more power. And diet is a huge impact. So remember to connect to earth so that you have more sexual vitality. And of course, these solo sexual practices that I've taught you, I've only been able to go over some of it. There's definitely more to it, and I will go into more of it at another time. But just understand that your sexual energy is your greatest power. It's the power for creativity. We don't always even have to call it sexual energy, just call it creative energy. So if you learn to master this creative energy and to channel it, then you can step into your full power. Guys, I have more energy than I know what to do with because I don't ejaculate all the time and I just keep building it and building it. If you make love several times a week, every time you make love, you get more energy, you get more energy, you get more energy. And then it's like you have so much more to give to the world. You have so much more power to manifest your life in the way that you've always envisioned. You have so much more ability to be centered, grounded, focused when you have this energy and you control it consciously.
And I can see the difference in his mood, in his performance, in his even how his eyes shine if he ejaculated or not. It's mind-blowing, the difference.
Yeah,
that's true.
and I try to ejaculate maybe once a month maximum, and usually less. And if you make it to a week, imagine if you save that energy for a month and then you ejaculate, you're here. And then when you ejaculate, so if you're going to ejaculate, enjoy it, have fun. Don't worry that you're lost or failed or anything like that. You just continue your practices. And these practices are what are going to teach you what you're capable of. Because if you're constantly ejaculating, you're constantly draining your life force energy, your creative energy.
Right.
Okay. So here's a quote from a Taoist scripture. If a man has sex once without spilling his seed, without ejaculating, his essence is strengthened. If he does this twice, his hearing and vision are made clear. If 3 times, all his physical illness will disappear. The 4th time, he will begin to feel inner peace. The 5th time, his blood will circulate powerfully. The 6th time, his genitals will gain new prowess. By the 7th, his thighs and buttocks will become firm. The 8th time, his entire body will radiate good health. The 9th time, his lifespan will be increased. And I can only attest to this as being absolutely true from my own experience. And I've lived in a spiritual community where men and women were practicing tantric practices and rituals and spiritual evolution as a way of life. And all the men that did this, they were all radiating good health, power, energy, and even a deeper sense of connection to their heart and to their spirit. And of course, a deeper connection to your partner, because each time we ejaculate, we stop that flow of energy. When you're fired up, you can't wait to get close to your woman. And as soon as you ejaculate, it's okay if you fall asleep. But if you keep that energy, you're going to always have that attraction. So it's powerful for maintaining a long relationship. It actually helps to keep that connection, that what we call that polarity of energy, that dance of attraction between the couple is strengthened every time you make love without ejaculating. So guys, learn the skills for yourself, but just as importantly as for the service of your loved one.
And this text is probably 1,000 years old, right? So it's being practiced over and over and over again. And there are a lot of skepticism about that, but you will not know unless you try.